Hi folks, it's Bob from Mountain Crest Farms. Well, it's a little bit later in the day than I normally do these. Don't have my coffee mug sitting here, and it's a little bit cooler day than we've had. It's solid, just about solid overcast. It's going to rain in about an hour, so I don't have to have my switchel out here. You know, my 1850s version of Gatorade. And I've told y'all before, and in case this is the first time you've seen this, seen one of my videos that talks about it, if you want a really great way to stay hydrated without garbage that food factories put out today, right up there, there'll be a little link. Click on it. It'll take you to a video that talks about Haymaker's Punch and has the recipe for it. Great way to stay hydrated. Oh, but I don't need it. It's not hot enough out here today. You know, every once in a while you'll have somebody that visits your channel on a regular, semi-regular basis, and you get to talking back and forth, you know, in the comments. You know, you watch their videos, they watch your videos, and there's a little bit of back and forth in the comments. Well, I watched, and y'all have heard me mention her before, I watched a video today by Nonna Grace. N-O-N-N-A-G-R-A-C-E, all one word, Nonna Grace, if you go to look for her channel. And I'll try to remember to, down in the description, I'll try to remember to put a link to it down there. Nonna is about my age. She has said she's a couple years older. I don't think she's much older, maybe 2-3 years at the most. But she started riding a motorcycle back in 2012. And in New York, you don't just have to be able to ride a motorcycle and pass a written test. Apparently, you have to take a class teaching you to ride a motorcycle. That's scary. Somebody's never been on a motorcycle before because they're obeying the law, and they're getting taking a class before they can get a license. Then they're going to get a license, which means that a 3-day class or a 2-day class or whatever it is will put you on the road on a motorcycle, and you take somebody who's never been on one is now legal on a 1,000cc bike. That is nuts. If you're going to have a class, it ought to be like learner's permits or something. But anyway, she went to take a class, and there was a bunch of guys there that apparently the local police had started cracking down about having to have a motorcycle license to ride. So a bunch of guys that have been riding for years were there, and here's Nonna Grace and her daughter, who are not lawbreakers. See, all those other guys, they're lawbreakers. They've been riding for years, not getting a license. Just figured, why bother, until the cops started cracking down on them. Nonna Grace and her daughter obeying the law, getting a license before you ride. And there were 2 instructors and 2 law enforcement officers were teaching it. And she doesn't say much about one. One was a guy. But she did say something about the girl. The female instructor said that she made a point of referring to all those other bikers as bikers, and referring to Nonna Grace and her daughter as motorcyclists in a very condescending tone. Now, Nonna Grace didn't like me. She has filters. And it just didn't come across in her video very good, but I think, if I had to guess, Nonna Grace didn't get very pissed off about the female instructor being condescending toward her. But it really torqued her chaps, treating her daughter that way. But they got their license and everything. But this brings me all the way around to, I told her in a comment that, let me understand this. The law enforcement officer that's teaching the class has no problem with, refers to them as bikers and treats them in a good way, guys that have been riding without a license for years and breaking the law. Because, you know, now they got to get a license because they're starting to crack down on it. But 2 people who have not been lawbreakers get treated in a condescending manner. Nonna Grace has filters. Bob from Mountain Crest Farms has no filters. And I believe I'd have had something to say to that woman. I know I would have had something to say to that woman. And it wouldn't have been nice. Now, I don't cuss people out. I do use some foul language occasionally. I try not to. But I wouldn't have cussed her out. But I would have told her in no uncertain terms that she was an idiot and she was a bad cop. If she had more respect for that group of bikers who had been intentionally breaking the law and then only got their license when they were forced to by circumstances. But these people over here are trying to keep the law and get their license before they ride. A law enforcement officer having more respect for lawbreakers than for people who don't break the law. I believe I'd have had to tell the cop just what a sorry cop she was. I mean, truly a sorry cop. I don't like sorry cops. I don't like bad cops. Now, I don't mind cops. I used to be a police officer many years ago. Let's say I'm 64, 40, about 38 years ago I was a cop for a while. I like cops. We'd have anarchy without cops. But I can't stand a bad cop. Because bad cops can do a lot of damage. You get somebody that's bad, put a badge on them and give them a gun, they can take your liberty, they can take your life. Don't need any bad cops. And don't need any bad government workers in general, whether they're elected officials or bureaucrats. I can't stand bureaucrats. Make all kinds of rules that tell us what to do, when we can do it. One of these days they're going to tell us what color underwear we're allowed to wear. And we don't elect them. Which is, and I'm not getting into politics. This isn't politics, this is government. Which is why I tell every government employee that I have any contact with. Chairman of the county commission here in the county where I live is a friend of mine. And I tell him this. Tax commissioner here is a friend of mine. And acquaintance. And I tell him this. Chief magistrate judge is a friend of mine, and I tell him this. Anytime I have any official contact, I don't mean going before the judge. I mean going into the magistrate court office to get some information, or going to talk to Rob Jones, the chairman of the county commission, to ask some questions. That's contact with them. Now, if I see him in a restaurant, hey Bob, how you doing? Hey Rob, how you doing? I don't do it then. But if I have official contact with any government employee, I'll tell you what I do. And it'd be nice if y'all out there, even the ones with filters, you need to take your filters down just a little bit. And I'd suggest doing what I do. If I have any contact with a government official, at the end of it, we've shook hands, I'm about to leave, I tell them, let me remind you of something. We, the people, don't work for you. You work for us, and you need to act that way. So that's about all I got today. Government, I cannot stand bureaucrats. If there's going to be laws that tell me what to do, I need to be able to vote for the people that do that. I don't want to vote people in who then pass it off to some bureaucrat. That's the quickest way to lose my vote. No. Quickest way to lose my vote is to compromise your principles. Say that you're one way and then vote another way. I might get into that one of these days. That's sort of bumping up against politics, but you never can tell. I might bust one loose and talk about that. But bureaucrats that I haven't elected have no business telling me what to do. So that's it for today, folks. It's a nice day out. If it wasn't for the overcast, it'd be 90, 92 degrees, and here in North Georgia we run 60, 70% humidity all the time. You can just stand here and sweat. So today's a pretty nice day. And it's a good day anyway. If I'm above ground and breathing, I figure it's a good day. Everything after that's just a bonus. So, till I see you in the next video. Oh, two other things. If you hung in with me till the end. sometimes all my videos are not copycats. I do stuff about homesteading. I've got one coming up on chainsaw safety. I've got one coming up on doing smoked meatloaf instead of baked meatloaf. When I do those, you won't see a copycat. The reason you didn't see a copycat yesterday morning, Monday morning, is because I thought I was going to have a video up on smoking meatloaf on my Oklahoma Joe smoker. But I didn't get it read, didn't get it edited, and didn't get it up in time. So there wasn't a video at all yesterday, Monday. Tuesday there'll be this one, and one of these days, the next week or so, there'll be the one on smoked meatloaf. But you'll never see 2 videos in one day from me. And I suggest for those of you who do YouTube videos, who have a YouTube channel, don't ever put up 2 in one day. Either combine the information into one video, or if it needs to be split into 2 videos, put it up on 2 different days. The YouTube algorithm will hurt you if you put up 2 videos in one day. YouTube won't suggest you as much to other people that are looking for stuff in your genre. Just don't put up 2 videos. The algorithm actually hurts your analytics. So keep that in mind. Now, also keep something else in mind. The tomb was empty. He is alive. Y'all have an absolutely awesome day. I know I'm going to, and I'd hate to be having an awesome day if y'all aren't. See y'all later. Bye.